The search for a higher purpose feels like it's calling you into your power. Like if you can just find the thing you're meant for, then you can finally become the person you're meant to be. But if your power is something you have to find, then what does that say about who you are right now? And if your purpose exists out there somewhere, then what's meaningful about you without it? We're taught, especially in spirituality, that we're here for something bigger, a mission, a calling, something we're meant to find. And that when we finally find it, everything will click. We'll feel clear, we'll feel important, like our life finally makes sense. But what happens when you haven't found it yet? When you've been searching, trying to figure it out, but nothing really lands? Because that's when this starts to feel like something else. It's no longer curiosity anymore. Now it starts to feel like pressure, like you should know by now, like you're behind somehow, like other people have something that you don't. So you keep asking yourself, what am I meant to do? What is my purpose? Why can't I figure this out? And the longer you don't have an answer, the more it starts to feel personal. Like maybe you're missing something, or maybe you're not on the right path, or maybe you just don't have what it takes to do something meaningful. So you consume more. Try to piece it together. Try to figure it out. But the harder you try, the more disconnected you feel. Because now you're not just searching for purpose. You're searching for proof that you have one. And underneath all of that, there's this quiet belief forming. If I haven't found my purpose yet, then I'm not enough yet. So your life starts to feel like something that hasn't really started yet. Like you're in between versions of yourself, waiting for clarity, waiting for direction, waiting for someone or something to tell you who you're supposed to be. And the longer you stay in that in-between space, the more uncomfortable it becomes. Because it's not just that you don't have an answer, it's that you don't know when you'll have one. And underneath that, there's an even deeper fear. What if I never figure it out? What if I keep searching, but nothing ever fully clicks? And what if I'm stuck in this in-between space forever, where I don't fully feel like myself, but I also don't know who I'm supposed to become? Because if that's true, then this feeling of not being enough doesn't go away. It just becomes something that you have to live with. And that's the part that feels the heaviest. But what if the problem isn't that you haven't found your purpose yet? What if the problem is that you've been taught that your life only becomes meaningful once you do? Because if meaning only comes after finding your purpose, then your worth and your enoughness and your sense of self become tied to something that you don't yet have. And slowly, without realizing it, you begin experiencing yourself as incomplete, like an unfinished draft, like something you just have to accept, rather than something you love and enjoy being. You become something that will be, rather than something that already is. And this is where the real pain begins. Feeling like enoughness is something you have to reach, something you have to earn, something you get to feel only after you figure it out. So of course you feel behind. Of course you feel desperate for clarity. Of course it feels so important to figure it out. Because your worth, your needing, your enoughness have become tied to something that exists out there, outside of who you are right now. But what if your enoughness isn't something that's accessed through achievement? What if it's something that's felt when you stop withholding it from yourself? Because if enoughness is always something you're searching for out there in some future version of you, then it's never actually allowed now. It's just continuously being deferred. What if your purpose isn't something you're meant to do? What if it's not hiding out there somewhere waiting for you to find it? What if your purpose is just being you? Not some future version of you, not some version of you that finally figures it out and accomplishes something great enough to finally feel worthy, but you, just as you are right now. And I know that might not land right away, because if you've been searching for something bigger, something more meaningful, then just being you can feel too small, too insignificant. Like it's not big enough to hold the weight of what you thought your life was supposed to be, because you've learned to associate meaning with achievement, worth with progress, enoughness with becoming, to always want more and do more and become more and achieve more. And subtly you learned that who you are right now is only valuable in relation to who you could become later. That somewhere there's a better version of you in the future, and when you can finally become them, then you can finally feel the way you want to feel. But can that really be true? Can a future version of you finally feel enough if this current version of you doesn't allow yourself to? Or will that future version of you also withhold it from themselves until they do something bigger and something better, and on it goes? Also, allowing yourself to feel good now doesn't mean that you stop striving for more. It doesn't mean that you stop creating and expanding and evolving. It just means that you allow yourself to feel good now so that you can also feel good later. I just want to take a moment and show you how this search for your purpose might be affecting your experience of you every single day. Just take a moment and close your eyes and imagine that you stopped searching for your purpose. That you stopped trying to find it, trying to figure it out, tried to make sure that you were on the right path. And that you just allowed who you are right now to be enough. That you allowed who you are in this very moment to be your entire reason for being, your entire reason for existing, and what gives your life meaning. What comes up for you when you imagine that? Is there a feeling of relief, a softening, a small exhale, like some version of you is finally being given permission to relax? Or is there a tightening, a tension, a resistance of some kind? This thought of, I can't stop searching because I just don't feel like I'm good enough yet. Regardless of what your experience was, I just want you to notice it. Notice the sensations, notice the emotions, and notice the thoughts attached. Because this is the experience of you that you've been either trying to arrive at or move away from through purpose. The softening or the exhale that you might have felt, that's what you're finally hoping to feel on the other side of finding it. Or the tension and the resistance that you might have felt. That's what you're hoping your purpose will finally release you from. Whatever your experience is, I encourage you to stay with it, to hold space for it, to allow it. Because when you stop resisting your current experience, something begins to reveal itself that's been lying underneath. You start to notice the okayness that's there. That it's okay to feel relief, and that it's also okay not to. And ultimately, that's what you've been searching for, not your purpose. The feeling, the knowing that you're okay, and that you're going to be okay. And if okayness exists here, in this very moment, inside of this very version of you, then okayness exists inside of you. And you don't need your purpose to grant it to you. All that's needed is you, your allowance of you, and your willingness to feel the okayness inside of you. Maybe your purpose isn't something you search for. Maybe it's something you allow. And when you allow you to be you and to feel okay inside of you, you find it. And most importantly, you find you. And what could be more purposeful than that? Learning how to feel the okayness through the allowance of what's there is something that I explore inside of my weekly YouTube lives. If you're interested in learning how to get present, releasing any resistance associated with that experience, and tapping into your intuition and everything else that comes along with that, I would love for you to join me. And you can also always watch the replay afterwards.